You might remember a few weeks ago I caught the dreaded Covid-19. I seem to be over the worst now, but it's still niggling at me. Covid is one piece of shit. Just to quickly recap, I went to a wedding a couple of weeks ago. I wasn't careful, I got pissed, I was hugging every man in sight. I was bound to get the Covid, and unfortunately I did. 50% of that wedding got Covid, and they've all had varying different degrees of suffering with it. Luckily, mine at the time was not too bad. It just felt like I had a massive cold, and it didn't really go on my chest, which was weird. I mean, I was a little bit short of breath, but I didn't get the usual coughing and spluttering and wheezing and, snot coming out of my nose and me everywhere, and my eyes, my ears, my ass. As you probably know, when you get Covid, they tell you to isolate and stay indoors for 10 days, and I think that's an excellent number of days in order for you to get over it. Because I'd say I'd only started feeling normal towards the end of it, and by about day 10, I felt good-ish again. I was testing negative for Covid, everything seemed to be on the up and up, and then weirdly, a few days later, I started coughing up massive amounts of blood, and my chest actually got worse than it did before I was cleared of Covid. So just to give you a bit of an understanding of the level of blood, I took a little bit of a film of it, so if you're squeamish, look away now. So it was roughly about 7 or 8 full mouthfuls of blood. Not like little streaks, full mouthfuls. So I did what we all do. I phoned the Cystic Fibrosis unit and they asked me how my chest was doing, they asked me my symptoms, and what we agreed was that I'd go on ciprofloxacin for a further 7 days, which is a normal cystic fibrosis treatment. You've probably had it if you had any kidney infections, water infections. It's usually the first thing they throw at it because it's just a very, very, very powerful antibiotic. So they extended my usual 10 days to 17 days, and they was going to phone me back in a couple of days to see if there was any better. Now this is where it got a bit sticky, because the CF unit said, all right, if you're not any better, then we'll take you into hospital and we'll give you IVs. But any time that you need to go in hospital, it's a weighty decision on your mind, because it basically flatlines your life. For 2 weeks, right, you lie in a hospital bed, your world stops, people around you have to come and visit you, and everyone feels a need to give you stuff and everything. It's quite mentally taxing to go in hospital, as weird as that sounds. You're meant to be there for 2 weeks rest, but it isn't restful. You get more rest at home, because nurses are coming in and out, and this isn't me sort of having a go at them, because they have to do it to keep you safe and make sure you recover, and you do recover, but it's awful. You're in that horrible nap state for like 2 weeks solid, like when you're like that. It's like when you're watching TV at night and you're like that, and you realise it's absolutely disgusting, you need to go to bed, but every time you do that, 16 nurses pile in and start putting swabs up your ass. So it's a difficult decision to go into hospital, and you try and avoid it for as long as you can, sometimes to the detriment of your health. So my symptoms after Covid, I've been exhausted for like 2 weeks now. So after my 10 days finished, I went straight back into work, because the way I personally like to do things is I like to throw myself back in the world, because I'm concerned about being lazy. Not that it's lazy to take time off to recover, but to me, I always start feeling like I'm a burden to the place that I'm working for and to myself, and I'd rather try and push myself and force myself, probably sometimes to my detriment, to be back in work, back in normal life straight away. So for about 2 weeks now, I've been knackered, I'm starving all the time. You know what I mean? I'm growing the right pair of tits. I always talk about it and I always joke about it, but now I'm literally, it's like these extra little bags underneath me, so if you need any milk, let me know, shoot me a message, and I'll give you a couple of pints. Anyway, I feel run down, like really, really run down. My chest isn't necessarily bad, but it's not as good as before, but I feel like in my own head that I can get over it, and it'll take me a couple of weeks to recover. But what a weird virus Covid is. I actually feel shitter now that I'm testing negative than I did before. My sense of taste is slowly coming back. My sense of smell is weird. I can smell a fart 600 miles away, but I can't smell my tea. One of the cats, I'll have a turd in the litter tray, it'll fill the house right, and I'll be sat there eating my tea in it, none the wiser, all happy. and then I'll walk past someone and I'll smell something and I'm like, "Ugh." So it's like everything's enhanced that I can actually smell. My taste is sort of 50-50. I can taste most things, but it doesn't taste as strong. And then some things like blow my tits off. Like I was having a chicken and mushroom pot noodle the other day, and it was like a taste sensation, which is weird because it's just a chicken and mushroom pot noodle. Even though they are amazing, only second to the Bombay Bad Boy, which I can taste, and that's a blessing. Oh, and going to the gym, my strength has gone. Liv asked me to open a jar the other day, and usually, you know, I'm the big man on campus, I'm like, oh, come here, give that jar. Anyway, I'm like that. My little fucking weedy arms now. My weedy arms, my big tits and my gut. So, COVID has made me super, super weak. I've been doing like half my normal weights at the gym. But again, this is the real update. With cystic fibrosis or any other condition, and even if you've had COVID and you've not got a condition, you're probably going to be fighting it off for a while. So whereas I'm going to the gym, I'm lifting little baby weights, but I'll gradually take them back up again. Because let's be honest, you're always fighting something as a human being, aren't you? Whether it's illness, whether it's life circumstances, whatever it is, we've just got to get on with it and keep pushing forward. I'm not going to start quoting Rocky because everyone's done it, but you know the drill. No matter how you get hit, keep moving forward. So from here, it's chill out a little bit, have a few weeks not going out on nights out, not doing much really, just watching Modern Family and building my retro pie console. Pretty much keep myself to myself, get myself well, get myself back out there in the world, and then let another virus or another infection rip the arse off me again. And we go around, we'll go straight back into that circle, but that circle's life in it, and I'm still loving every minute of it. Calf Trio, by the way, has helped me massively. Calf Trio, I still give a 10 out of 10 because if I didn't have that drug, I reckon this would have shat on me. And a little bonus, I should be quite immune now over the Christmas period. People might say, wasn't you double vaccinated? Why have you still had it? What's going on? I thought you was immune. But I fully reckon that if I didn't have them jabs, I'd have been absolutely fucked.